Friends, today I'm here to talk to us about knowing yourself and loving yourself. You remember about a month ago, I talked to us about my personal experience when I wrote on my wall, me and life, and I promised I would come back to talk a little more about me. And when I say me, I would like you to say me, and that will be you. It is very important to know who you are. More than just thinking about it that I know who I am, it is important to really know who you are. Because when you know yourself, you can know how to relate with yourself. This is beyond what you do. In most cases, it is hard. When you ask someone, who are you? They say, I am a doctor, I am a businessman. But you are more than your job. I hope you know that. Being a doctor, that is your job, but you are more than that. And have you ever wondered, it has happened to me sometimes, when people are going for interviews, they don't know other questions which they are going to ask them, but at least they know there's this one question which they are going to be asked, and that is, tell us about yourself. And I've seen people in mirrors stammering, trying to introduce themselves to themselves. And it is funny because how can you fail to introduce someone whom you have known, who you've lived with your entire life? You've lived with yourself all the years that you have lived on earth. You have been with you, and yet you find it so hard to introduce yourself to other people. Yet if they ask you to tell them what you do, oh wow, you can explain your business, the dynamics, the partners. Why? Because we tend to spend more time with our jobs than with ourselves. The reason why you have a lot to say about your job than about yourself is because you give your job so much time. You try to understand it. You understand the systems. You understand the workmates, the leadership structure. So when they ask you to talk about it, you have a lot to talk about. But you don't spend even a quarter of that time with yourself. So you have nothing to say about yourself, and you have a lot to say about your business. And yet the success of your business is reliant on who you are. And I think if you can know yourself, you would even do much, much better at your job than you are doing right now. Some of us may not have been lucky to have parents who compliment us. Some of us, and some of you watching me, maybe you were brought up by parents who only exaggerated your mistakes and minimized your strength. When you made a mistake, they told you how you are a bad child, how you are impatient, how you are mean, how you are like your grandfather or your grandmother or your uncle so and so. And you grew up thinking that that is who you are. And you have accepted people's definition of yourself, but you have not taken time to know yourself really, really, to know that this is me. You are more than what people say you are. And the best place to start is to look at yourself through the eyes of God. When you go to the book of Genesis chapter 1 verse 27, and there I would like you to put your birthday, because on that particular verse they say, so God created man in his own likeness. And verses down, you realize that they also say that everything that God created, God saw everything that he created, including you, including me, that it was beautiful. So I could say, instead of saying Genesis 1:27, I can say on July 3rd, like for example in my case, put your birthday. God created Audrey in his own image and in his own likeness. And God saw Audrey and she was beautiful. But the question is, do you really know that human being that was created on the day God brought you on earth? Of course, you were formed way before that, but mothers don't really keep track on the exact day when your formation started. So let's go to your birthday. On that day when you were brought forth on earth, God saw what he had given the world and it was beautiful. But the sad part is we never take time to understand this. We allow other people to define us. We allow people to tell us who we are, and we settle for that. Yet we are more than their descriptions and their knowledge of who we are. It could be true what they are saying might have been true last year. Maybe you were mean last year, but you change, we change, situations change us. Like me, I have changed. Last year I did not experience as much pain as I've experienced this year. So if anyone knew me last year, they surely don't know me now. So we change. It is good to look at yourself in the eyes of God and know who you are. Sit down with yourself. They usually tell us, and we tell students, that before you date anyone, date yourself. But for me, I believe that knowing yourself is a lifelong journey. It is not something you do once and you finish. Why? Because we keep evolving, we keep changing. And so when a new person comes in your life, for example, if you get a new friend or a new boyfriend, a new girlfriend, or a new boss or a new workmate, they advise you to spend more to know them. We tend to give them so much time. You want to know what they like, you want to know where they sleep, You want to know what pisses them off. You want to know which church they pray from, if they pray. You want to know a lot about them. Why? Because once you get to understand this newcomer in your life, you will know how to deal with them, how to do what they like, and how to avoid what they don't like. But how come you never do that for yourself? You have never taken time to know yourself, to know what you like, to know what inspires you, to know what to give yourself this much time so that you can, relate with yourself so well and you don't hurt yourself. And so we downplay our own selves to other people's benefits, and I don't think that is right. You need to know yourself. Give yourself a lot of time. Do a SWOT analysis. And for people who went to school now, they will wait for me to get it wrong, but I know what it is. I also went to school. Do a SWOT analysis. Understand your strength. Know your competitive advantage. Just know that one thing that can help you stay afloat in a stormy sea so that you don't drown. This is my strength. I can thrive on this. Get to know it. Understand your weaknesses. Weaknesses are not the worst thing that can happen to you if you get to know them and you find your way around them, either to improve them or deal with them or live with them. Get to know your weaknesses. Get to know your opportunities, the things within you, because I'm not talking about the outside of you, the environment. I'm talking about the inner you, your body, soul, and spirit. Get to know the opportunities within you that you can thrive on. It could be a talent, it could be something that you are very good at, or something that you could just explore, and together with your strength, it helps you to actually move forward according, to fulfill your purpose and your dreams. Get to know your threats, the negative likelihoods within you. You just need to know, what is my threat? What is my threat? Am I a threat to myself? Is my impatience a threat? Get to know your threats, because when you get to know them and you get to know yourself, you can relate with yourself better. And then too, when people start giving you their own negativity, especially because I don't know, somehow people are always looking for flaws. They don't look out for good things. They're always looking for what is wrong with you. Even on your good day, when you have dressed smartly, you have said your morning prayers, you're all holy and righteous, you will be surprised that the first person you meet will look out for that shoe that doesn't match with your outfit, and that's what they will comment about. We have not yet learned in this generation to compliment ourselves. But even if nobody gives you a compliment, for you, once you know yourself and you know that you are smart, you don't care about what other people say. If it is true, you know it is true. If it is a lie, you will know it is a lie. So do not let other people define you. Understand your body. Understand what, some of us don't even know our sizes. You don't know your dress or shirt size. You don't know anything. And when someone tells you something about your body, it is like a surprise. But get to know yourself. If you have a big butt, know that you have a big butt. If someone tells you have a big butt, you already know. But if someone starts trying to put you down and they say, oh, your butt is small, you don't believe them. It is very good to know yourself. If people are flattering you, you will know. Because also that's another thing. People flatter. I have seen it. Some couples, you'll find the only time your wife tells you that you're handsome is when she wants money. Meaning for the most part of the week, she was not saying that you're handsome. But this one day when she needs money, she's like, oh, honey, you're very handsome. That could be a flattery. But at least if you know yourself, you will know what she's talking about. You'll be like, okay, I know it's just a flattery. And some of you wives, you'll find the only time your husband gives you good, compliments is when he needs something. He's hungry and he needs food. And they're like, oh, I married a beautiful wife. You have nice legs. And he never even saw them on your honeymoon. I know. But when you have known yourself, whether it is flattery or a true compliment, you will know the truth about yourself. You will not let other people put you down. Some of us have been told, that we are the worst thing that has happened. As someone looks at you, a spouse tells you the worst thing that has ever happened to me, after giving them 5 children, and they say that and you believe them? No. But if you don't know yourself, you can sit down and you think that is who you are. Maybe your parents never gave you compliments. They only talked about your negativity. They talked about what is wrong with you. Don't believe them. And the best way to start is by knowing who you are, so that when people tell you negative or wrong things about you, you don't believe them. And if they are true, they don't surprise you or they don't put you down. We are evolving human beings. Some of the things about us, our negativity, could have been true, but we change. So get to know yourself and then accept yourself. When you know yourself, accept yourself. Especially accept things about you that you cannot change. The color of your skin, the shape of your head, the physical things. Because even when you get saved, your body does not change. God does not reduce your size of the nose to make it smaller because you got born again, unless He does really decide to do for you a miracle. But the physical body remains the same. And once you know who you are and you understand it, you relate with it very well. But the other things about us can change. Our characters can change, our attitudes can change, our minds can change, our hearts can change. So do not settle to be told who you are. Tell yourself who you are every single day. Accept yourself and then love yourself. Because you see, if you have ever tried to love people who don't love themselves, you know how hard that is. People who don't like themselves do not receive love. They are not very good recipients of love. Why? Because the Bible says love your neighbor as you love yourself. And when you do not love yourself, it is hard to love other people, and it is even hard to receive other people's love. So self-love receives love. When someone loves themselves, even if you give them just a small glimpse, just a small portion of your love, they will receive it. Why? Because their cup is full of love already. And so even if just what you give them is just a compliment. But when you try to love someone who doesn't love themselves, even if you love them with the whole of you, they will still repel you. Self-love attracts love. Self-hate repels love. So learn to love yourself. And when we have people who love ourselves, the world will not be scarce of love, because people who love themselves will love other people. You will love everybody because you know you're not competing with anyone. You are who you are. You know who you are. You have accepted yourself and you love yourself. So take yourself on a journey of self-knowledge. Know who you are. Know what you are becoming. Know the experiences that are changing you. Know who you are. And then when you have known who you are, accept yourself and love yourself, and then you will love others. And then people will know, because that is even what the Bible says, that people will know that we are Christ's disciples if we have love for one another. Yet it is hard to love other people when we don't love ourselves. So start from that. Know yourself, because you can't love what you don't know. So know yourself and then love yourself. And do not take what people tell you as gospel truth, as long as you know yourself that it is either true or it is not true. May God guide you. Look yourself through God's eyes. Know that you are beautiful and you are good in His eyes, and live up to that. May God bless you.